Italian Coast Scene with Ruined Tower by Thomas Cole, written by Spencer MacKay, Mr. Cavanaugh's class, American Literature. The Italian Coast Scene with Ruined Tower painting by Thomas Cole epitomizes nature's dominance over man. In the foreground, we see a crumbling and decaying tower, which the vines have taken over. Around the tower, there are many sheep that are supposed to be tamed and controlled by the shepherd, whom we see sitting, tired and slumped, on a rock, looking at his flock walking around. Far in the background, we see a very small ship in a large, vast ocean. In the Italian Coast Scene with Ruined Tower painted by Thomas Cole, we identify that the building that is crumbling and decaying, the flock of sheep not tamed or controlled by the shepherd, and the small boat related to the vast ocean all embody nature's eventual supremacy over man. The old, disintegrating, and rotten tower represents nature's inevitable domination over man. The tower, which used to be used by man to see far away over nature's obstacles, is now rotting away. The top of the tower is run down, and on the ground near the tower we see pieces of it that have either fallen off or been broken off. We can even see the shepherd is sitting on a piece of the tower that has been thrown off very far. Cole is depicting that nature cannot be conquered by a small, man-made machine. Nature will always win out over man's insignificant little inventions and technologies. The vines painted on the tower symbolize that nature is working its way up the tower and is close to taking it over for good. The vines are used because they are seen as a delicate little plant which is able to take over this strong and tall building that took a lot of time and a considerable amount of research to construct. Cole uses these to show how insignificant and weak the humans are, and how their man-made buildings and creations are very weak in the grand scheme of things. The sheep, wandering around untamed, represents that even the most domestic of animals will be able to defy man's law. The sheep seem to be uncontrollable. They roam around freely and do as they please. One sheep has even made it to the far end of the island, while the shepherd seems to not notice. The shepherd sits on a piece of the tower that has either fallen or decayed off the tower. The shepherd looks tired as he is slumped over. He looks into the distance, seeming to look at the boat in the vast ocean. He is not paying attention to his flock of sheep, but seems to be looking away and not caring that his sheep have overpowered him. It looks as though, because of his tired state, that he has tried to guide the sheep and tell them what to do, but they have overruled him and are doing as they please. The minuscule boat, compared to the vast ocean, represents that man has a long way to go to conquer nature. The sailboat that we observe is small and far away. Compared to the giant natural rock, it seems as though it is only a tiny speck. This is portrayed this way to symbolize that nature has bigger and better creations than even, at that time, one of man's best and most technologically advanced inventions. Cole paints the ocean as fading away for a specific reason. The ocean symbolizes the end of the earth and the end of nature. The miniature boat, compared to this vast ocean, represents that man has a long way to go to figure out and to conquer nature. In the Italian Coast Scene with Ruined Tower, painted by Thomas Cole, we know that the old, worn-out and decaying building, the shepherd who has given up trying to domesticate his sheep, and the tiny boat trying to conquer nature's largest obstacle, all exemplify man's insignificance compared to nature. The vine-riddled tower, which looks as though it has been attacked by multiple armies, is barely standing and has large chunks of it falling off. The slumped, almost sleeping shepherd, who looks into the distance, doesn't seem to notice that his flock of sheep roams around untamed and unwatched. Finally, the small boat, trying to conquer the vast ocean ahead of it, seems as though it blends into the massive rock looming behind it. Thomas Cole's The Italian Coast Scene with Ruined Tower illustrates the romantic quality of nature's control over man.